Essen. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Handiger, Jimmy Ott. Jordan Kitchens back in the studio. Glad to have you with us here this morning. Beautiful day here in Baton Rouge. The weather warmed up for
Oh,
you, Jimmy.
dude, this is
You,
way. I couldn't believe. Went to the fitness center today, and I got out and like, what? Is it a day? Huh?
you lived here long enough, man.
I know, but golly, Charlie, pretty drastic, huh? I mean, in a good way. It's
Yeah,
good.
and it's going to be
We're doing a little positivity,
well,
man.
positivity.
Huh?
Our friends here at Iverstine. Um, are on. I was glad to see them on the front page rather than some of the other things I've seen on the front page this week. The front page of the living section, a beautiful little piece about Baton Rouge's one butcher shop. Full animal butcher shop
I
here. What they do here is unique at
Well,
Iverstine.
it's an old food, an old time butcher guy. Now it's Iverstein Butcher now because the farm in Kentwood is no longer but that's where it originated.
Yeah.
The family farm in Kentwood, and Galen learned it from his dad, and how to butcher up meats, how to raise them. The grass fed. The just a little bit cleaner, a little bit healthier for you. And I started with Galen on his location right next to my buddy Fleabag at Pets Plaza on Perkins, but much closer to College. And it was a
Fleabag?
much Pets Plaza.
Okay,
He
got
deals
it.
with pets.
I got it.
So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, that's my boy, Michael
Okay.
Hackett. I mean, no, affectionate.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
So, but they were right next to him. So anyway, but I did we did some stuff. Then he did a few sandwiches there a little bit, but just just kind of the meat. Everybody wants the fillets,
Mhm.
the ribeyes and stuff. But there's a lot more there. So they take the bones and make their own stock, and they put it in quarts so you can take it home. So you don't have to do some of your own stocks. A little bit of a shortcut for you. Different lards and stuff like that to cook maybe some of your vegetables and give it a little bit of that southern flavor. But all kinds of different homemade sausages, the butcher burgers and stuff. But then they moved here because they were growing, and moved down the street on Perkins, just off of Essen, and then they turned it into a little cafe as well. We got roasted chicken. We got greens. We got green beans in different sides, rolls, and so you can get one of their custom burgers or sandwiches, like the Cuban they did for the diners, drives,
Diners, dives, and
drive-throughs.
Yeah.
Yes, Big Guy Fieri,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
so gave him. I don't know if you saw that, but it was glowing review. So, I mean, just a cool atmosphere. It's locally owned and operated. The service is good. So you come in for the butcher shop. The butcher burgers are awesome. I get those all the time over here. Chicken, pork, whatever you need over here. Sides that are available that are prepared in house. So the stock that they have. So just a little bit of everything to help you cook. And it's got the fresh breads from the St. Bernard Bread Company. So a little bit of it's just a locally owned old school place that's kind of turned into a multi-purpose cafe that a lot of people come and get sandwiches or plate lunches
Gourmet
for lunch.
hot dogs.
Yeah, the gourmet hot dogs too, because those hot dogs and they sell out very quickly during those summer holidays, whether it's
Yeah.
Memorial Day, 4th of July, or Labor Day, and I did them as well. And it's just not. You don't like the ingredients of a lot of the store-bought hot dogs. You're not going to get them over here at Iverstein. So, yeah, and featured today on the cover of the living section of the Today's Advocate. So, and just talking about the same things that I talked about. And of course, holiday season is just around the corner, and so they're doing a lot of the turkeys prepared different ways. So, keep them in mind for
Thanksgiving
your
2 weeks from
holiday
tomorrow.
cooking. Yeah,
2 weeks from tomorrow.
there we go.
Um, Frank Wilson on the SEC teleconference this morning with a little bit of football news. Whit Weeks is going to be at practice today. They're going to see if they
Really?
can. Yeah, he called it a pivotal day at practice for him, which I took to mean they're going to see if he can plant and cut on this thing. Can he change directions? Because he's been, as I understand it, he's been running, but the plant and cut is the part that they haven't gotten to yet. So I can't even begin to tell you how big of a difference he would make on Saturday for two reasons. Number one is Taylon Green, who is a nightmare when he gets going. Frank called him on Monday, maybe the most dynamic of the running quarterbacks that they've seen so far, and I would have to agree. I thought that the way he described it as a gliding run that he can separate from people, maybe not as elusive as or as physical as a Diego Pavia, but faster and able to
Well,
make plays that there's just not a whole lot of quarterbacks can make. Now, on the other hand, he is inconsistent. I've called him, I think, for 2 years, Jimmy, the most dangerous quarterback in the league because when he's on, he's as physically gifted as anybody there is. He does go through more patches, though, of inaccuracy and things
keep in
like
mind that
that.
guy from South Carolina now.
Yeah, and
He's more physically gifted because he's got bulk too, and he's just as fast and he's stronger.
see, I think Green's faster than Sellers, but I give you that Sellers is certainly the bigger, more physical player.
I mean, we can't talk South Carolina. We can say this is the most physically gifted guy, and then when we get this guy,
No,
he's the most physically gifted
let,
guy.
let me let
I
me
mean,
say he's the most.
he's
He's
more
the
of a
fastest.
he's more of a track. He might be. He's more of a. He looks like he's got a track fluid,
Yeah.
stride.
Hmm.
You know, he can fly. There's no doubt. I he's not, but he's a little bit straightaway speed. He doesn't have that shake that a Pavia has.
No, he does. He doesn't have that,
Um,
but he can run away from people. You
oh,
remember?
yeah, yeah, man.
You remember?
No,
Some
he might be
25 yards ago, 25 years ago, Matt Jones, who had great straight line speed, and he was a kind of a glider too. He was a tall
kind
kid.
of very much so.
Yeah.
He was legit 6'6". He was drafted as a tight end. This guy's got size as well, but I was going to say Jones because he's not as thick as Jones. Taylor Green's not going to play tight end in the NFL. He's going to play quarterback. We'll see if I can do it. But you say inconsistent, and he's gotten a lot more consistent under Bobby Petrino.
Yeah.
And so still a little bit inconsistent. But Marcel Reed can plant his foot. He may not be quite as fast, but he's got a lot of speed too, as we saw. And he could put Marcel Reed could plant his foot a little bit better than Taylor Green. Pavia's got more of that elusiveness, but not a ton of straightaway speed. So, yeah, a lot of different little nuances of these running quarterbacks in the NFL. I was watching, NFL, the SEC. It's now kind of the NFL light, but the SEC network was doing their top 5 rushing attacks in the SEC. Just a little countdown, just kind of content thinking. All 5 had running quarterbacks. It was not the top running quarterbacks. It was top rushing attacks in the SEC. And of course, they talk about Texas A&M as one of them, but I think the top one. But yeah, Arkansas was in that top 5 as well. And he's dangerous, bro. He is dangerous, but not the elusiveness, not the of a Pavia, not the bulk of Sellers at South Carolina, but probably the fastest. What's their rushing numbers? How they compare of those 3? And Martell Reed as well.
Of the 3 of them in the Southeastern Conference, the top running quarterback is Green by about 50 yards.
How many does he have?
Over Pavia? Green's got 107 rushes for 650 yards.
107 rushes.
Yeah, just a little over, just an eyelash over 6 yards per carry. Pavia's got 117 for about five and a quarter, just a little over 600 yards of total
TDs?
rushing. Pavia's got 7 touchdowns and Green's got 6, so very similar numbers there. Trinidad Chambliss has 434 yards. He's the next highest quarterback in rushing, and Reed is just Reed actually averages more yards per carry than Chambliss, but he has fewer because they've got one less game.
You count the sack yardage in there?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
I don't have it
Because
without.
Sellers is only 158.
Yeah, yeah,
He's got
Sellers.
sacked so much because his offensive
Yes.
line
Yeah,
has
yeah.
been so
I
bad.
don't have it without the sacks. I'd have to
Yeah,
do it
yeah.
by hand.
158 and 3D. Mateer is
Yeah.
another good runner, and
Mateer at
he's become more of a runner since he's come back because he
Mateer
doesn't trust his hand as much.
300.
308 and 4 TDs.
Yeah, just 3 yards a carry though. He's been sacked more times as well
Mhm.
than Green or Pavia.
And maybe he's got the best play designer
You talking
of the.
Green? You
Yeah,
talking, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Petrino can still.
I mean, big start back,
Yeah,
but I mean,
he can
yeah,
still call
yeah,
plays.
he's a good play designer.
He's been very, very good. So
It,
LSU just had so much problems with running quarterbacks through multiple coordinators, really. That Green is what scares you.
this year,
About,
well, this is the year. I mean, this is a different personnel. We
not as bad as Milrow last year. They kept Sellers in check.
Sellers they bottled up.
Sellers didn't have much of any room to run. LSU's defense, I
Pavia
think,
ran
is
on him.
worn down. Pavia ran on him at some really key times,
Yeah.
and Reed didn't beat him as bad as he did a year ago in College Station, but he also made a couple of runs.
Oh, Reed beat him.
Yeah,
With his leg.
he beat
He
him.
was a
He beat
big
him all
factor
over.
with his
Beat him
legs
all
too.
over the place. So that's what concerns you. So the second thing about Whitweeks potentially coming back is the emotional lift. I mean, you've seen him on the sidelines. He's one of the leaders on this team. He's wanted to play. He's almost begged to play. And, hey, you know what? Sorry, we'd love to have you play, but you're not healthy enough to play, and you can't just let. I thought Frank did a good job of describing that on Monday. Just we can't just let the emotion of game day overcome the fact that you didn't practice all week and you're not ready to go. This week, maybe though. Okay, if he can go today and he can go tomorrow, then maybe they have him on the field, and that would be a big pick me up for LSU. I think both the physical of they got to have somebody can account for Taylor Green, and
Well,
then they got the emotional part of it.
well, you don't know where this team is as far. Frank's coaching hard.
Yeah.
Frank's connected to the players. They certainly played against Alabama, but getting excited to play Alabama, getting excited to play Arkansas, are two different things. I mean, everything's been going great, and you have questionable enthusiasm to play Arkansas. So what are you going to have when they come in here? And the presence of a guy like but Frank, it means a lot to Frank, and a lot of times a team is a reflection of their coach. So I think that keeps them in it. If Kelly was still here, we'd be wondering hard if this team was going to show up. But because of that, gives you more confidence that they will. Weeks also, he cares, and so him being suited up would be he's one of their leaders, and both vocal and by
Leading by example in
by
a lot
example
of cases.
as well. So it's just those type of things, because Charlie, there's times when we've sat here with LSU's, and we're like, Arkansas, the boot, big, shiny border war. I mean, you really, we tease a little bit with Les right now, but it's just. I mean, it doesn't get our juices flowing a lot of times.
You are a 5-4 team whose season has been wrecked to the point where you had to fire the coach and half the damn administration, it seems like, and you are playing a 2-7 team at 11:45 in the morning. Yeah, this one in the annals of Tiger Stadium history. And Rabelais on with us today. He did a book, 100 Years of Death Valley. Okay, makes a wonderful Christmas gift. This ain't making the list, okay? Unless one of these guys throws for 8 touchdown passes or somebody runs for 350 yards. This one's not making the list. This one is you got to want it. And they come out there, 11:45, bop, 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 and there's 60,000 people in the stands. And
there's gonna be tons of empty seats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying 60. I don't know. Might be 75. Might be 55. I don't know. The weather's supposed to be good, so that helps you a little bit. But this is not
those
a big.
things have an impact on these
Yes,
type of games.
absolutely. If it was raining,
Yeah.
I'd be scared to death that the stadium would be
No,
half full.
the A&M weather would be rough. But 11:45, they don't get a whole, and they're not playing for what what we thought they'd be playing for right now. Not even close.
No, they're playing
Who you
for
playing for? A
pride
trip
mostly.
to Tampa or Nashville or Houston? Like, well, okay, who cares? I mean, really.
No, I don't think that's really
It's
crossed
just
their
it's
mind
it's
all
a
that much.
pride thing, and the one thing that the fans have is that you're not sitting back and like, man, I'm kind of. I think it needs to get worse before it gets better. I think actually
Who else could
a
they
loss,
fire?
a loss, it may make a move.
Yeah,
I mean, well, we kind of like that in basketball.
yeah, but I
I
mean, now
mean,
they've fired everybody that they can
no,
fire.
that's what I'm saying. No,
Yeah,
so you're behind
yeah,
Frank, and you're
yeah.
behind a team.
Right. There's no.
I mean, you're not pulling from to lose.
No,
That's
they're
that's
not-
how the equation
They're
is.
not going to get a draft choice.
No, it's well, but it's. Have you not had people say, "Man, I'm kind of pulling, I kind of almost pulling from to lose because they." And
When you're ready to have the coach out,
yes,
that's happened.
because it's got to get worse before it can get better.
Right.
But that's the one thing. The interim, you make the move. No, you don't have to do it. Arkansas was hosting Notre Dame for the first time in the history, playing Notre Dame for the first time, and then we're stuck between man, we're excited to go to the Notre Dame game, and we're boycotting the team. Ohio State last year in a playoff game boycotted.
The team that won the national championship, is that Ohio
Yes.
State? Okay.
Yes. So I
Just
mean,
checking.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but that it's possible. You don't think with LSU was top 5 after the Clemson game, who was being thrown all the bouquet. This might be the best team in the country. I mean, and for a few weeks, don't give up on LSU. They're still really good, and to be playing for the boot. I mean, you need all those things. You need the good weather. You need a wet weeks. You need Frank. You need them to be a reflection of their team. So you need to have made a move to get that team behind you. Were you in the stadium for the Rohan Davey game, the Hal Hunter game?
Yes.
They
Yeah.
made the move. It was a light crowd. It was a light crowd. It was a Friday. It was a Black Friday game, but still, it was maybe 55,000,
Yeah.
but they were in it.
They were very much. I had to leave at halftime to go do a high school game in Abbeville. I remember that day very. I watched the first half in the stadium and listened to the second half on the radio, so I remember it very well.
So here's how you order your turkey from Iverstine Butcher over here on Perkins near Essen. You go to iversteinebutcher.com. iversteinebutcher.com. Go all the way to the right, click on holiday order. So orders have to be in by Friday, November 21st. And then you schedule your pickup time anywhere from Saturday the 22nd to Wednesday the 26th. Not available for pickup on Thursday. You click on your time anywhere from 9 a.m. to 5:45 p.m. in those days. So you can and you go through it. You can the pasture-raised whole Thanksgiving turkey, the whole smoked turkey, the boneless turkey breast, the bone-in turkey breast. You can do a Thanksgiving pork, do the bourbon ham, the boneless pork loin, whole roasted pig, Thanksgiving pork crown roast, or the pork shoulder. So all the different beefs that you want, lambs, sides, and you just go down and scroll down and you do it online. Desserts are available as well. So go to iversteinebutcher.com. iversteinebutcher.com. Pick up November 23rd, 10 a.m. And, well, that's just one that I pulled up. But turkeys, pork, beef, lamb, sides, and desserts. iversteinebutcher.com.
Live at Iverstein, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
1950, Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Dallas. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the Southdown Shopping Center.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Brandon Holly here. Did you know Relief Windows is the window, door, hardy plank, and vinyl siding and interior shutter headquarters of the Gulf South? That's right. For nearly 20 years, we have provided you with a lifetime guarantee. Relief from the heat, cold, storms, and sun. So go where thousands have gone to upgrade the exterior and the interior of their homes. ReliefWindows.com. That's ReliefWindows.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
Let Sammy's Grill do the cooking for your holiday feast. Fried or rotisserie turkeys with all the traditional sides. Pepper jack, crawfish, cornbread dressing, green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, boudin rice dressing, mac and cheese, and more. And for dessert, white chocolate bread pudding or pecan pie. Order a la carte or bundle up with our turkey feast that feeds 8 to 10 people. Call or stop by either the Highland Road or Prairieville locations to place your order today. Orders must be made 48 hours prior to pickup. Let Sammy's Grill do all the cooking for you this holiday season.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny.
Remember that you can always get this show on demand, 1045ESPN.com and LouisianaSports.net. That's brought to you by Supreme Rice, supporting our Louisiana farmers since the 1930s. Go to SupremeRice.com. Jimmy, I know you've gotten a lot of questions about this. So have I, and it's been a topic in the last 24 hours, so let's get to it. BetOnline has instilled Nick Saban as a favorite to be LSU's next coach. He is 2-1 or plus 200 in what I'm looking at right now. It may be updated with Lane Kiffin second, Joe Brady third, Clark Lee fourth, and Dan Lanning fifth. This has got a lot of people stirred up, excited, interested, whatever. This is your corner of the store. Tell me everything you know about when these books put up these lines.
Well, there's a difference between the initial odds that they put up and then what has been bet to this point. How long has BetOnline had these posted?
Since the job came open, since Kelly was fired. I think he was fired.
The 26th, the 27th,
26th.
Basically. Okay.
Yeah, let's say they put him up the next day, the 27th.
7th.
Yeah.
We're looking at 2.5 weeks now.
Yeah, about.
Now this is part of the market affecting the odds.
Okay.
All right. So I can't. What was his initial odds? Was he 75-1?
No, it was shorter than that.
Well, this is Moscona's got the one where he said that Saban has surpassed Joe Brady as the favorite to land in Baton Rouge, going from 75 to 1 all the way to 2 to 1.
I never saw 75 to 1. If he put it down there, he saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
Could have been from
And he
another
talks
book.
about how the Ryan Silverfield for the Arkansas job has surpassed James Franklin as the favorite.
And
My
then I
point-
think that thing happened when Lashley got his contract extension. But yeah.
But Summerall has surpassed Dillingham as the favorite. My point is the betting market is more accurate than the initial odds. Everybody says that Vegas put them out. Vegas doesn't put these odds out. Vegas doesn't put odds like they barely put out NFL draft odds. They are not putting up they'll put up the first pick to be in the NFL draft, but they don't put out coaching odds. You can't find any, Circa, Caesar's Palace.
This is all offshore.
All offshore. There's none of these available on the mobile sites, which were way more extensive in their betting options. I mean, it's a big talk about all the props as we get in a lot of the players because they're easier to manipulate, and people are getting in trouble right now. But they're popular as well, way more popular with the younger bettor than more of the established bettors. But they are popular, and the props are not going away. Okay, I can tell you that they want to take one game and make a 16 parlay out of it. We're in a minority of just betting games these days. But I would put more emphasis on the odds today than the original odds. And these offshore books like Bet Online, like Bovada, and some others who have serious limits, by the way, on these bets. I mean, I know I bet on
Under 500.
I know the max I could get down on a prop when it was during the pandemic. It was Mike Gundy made some political comments, and there was conversation about him being if he was going to survive or not.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that he was an alum, he was successful, that he was, I bet $100 was the max I could get down.
Yeah.
So if you get down 500, that's a lot.
Yeah.
All right. But the original lot, they're really bad on these. Really bad on these. But the betting public, as maybe some intel from somebody gives me more emphasis. So if he's 2 to 1 on October 27th, I'm not putting as much emphasis as I am now on 2.5 weeks later.
Yeah.
For instance, Dillingham was the favorite. Summerall surpassed him. Give me Summerall versus Dillingham all day. Ryan Silverfield from Memphis has passed up James Franklin as the favorite for Arkansas. Give me Silverfield all day over Franklin ahead up. Lane Kiffin has passed up Drinkowitz as a favorite for Florida. I would take Kiffin versus Drinkowitz in that one. So my point is, now I'd like to bet the no, which is not available on this.
Yeah.
But I would lay minus 260 that Saban's not going to be the head coach.
Yeah,
or
well, only one
280.
person's cashing on the yes. Okay,
Yes,
I
yes.
get it.
Yeah, but it's one-way traffic.
Yeah.
They're not even offering a no.
All right.
So,
So two quick things here. Number one, if anybody thinks that somebody that is in the know went and put 6 figures on this to shift these odds, that's not accurate.
wait, what's that now?
If somebody thinks that, somebody in the know went and put 6 figures on Nick Saban,
They're
to
not
be the
getting
next-
that. I mean,
that's not accurate.
unless you've got not an illegal book who they don't answer the phone anymore. They have these sites. But these type of sites still have to have serious limits on them.
Right.
And nobody's getting down six figures
I-
on the next coach. This is not
I'm
happening.
putting it out there because we do this every day, okay? We have to understand the general public thinks Vegas knows something. We say that
This is
on
not
game
Vegas.
something. Right, exactly. That's
First of all-
that's the point I'm trying to make, okay? This is not a deal where a huge bet comes in and moves a line on a football game. That's not what this is, okay? This is market driven, but it's not some one guy
the
that
coaching,
knows
the coaching
that-
search and the odds the offshore books put out are some of the, I would say, the least accurate of all of the things that they put out. If they're like last night, damn, Kentucky's getting 6 points from against Louisville.
I fell for that.
I mean, Kentucky's getting 6 points. Well, it was a stinky line, and it was a Super Bowl. Did you hear the crowd when they would make a three?
Yeah.
I mean, it was deafening. Okay, it was their Super Bowl last night. I had Louisville last night on the on Otter Lights. Anyway, those are more like, okay, there's a reason. Okay, there's a reason.
Yeah.
The stinking. Wait, there's a reason.
Yeah.
They have this team, ranked higher. This is not the same thing.
Okay.
These are completely
And
different.
that's the point I wanted you to
completely
make.
different. This is something to entertain. Wait, I could bet on that. It was like, man, let me get an account there. Let me do that.
Yeah.
It might fish things, and it's a little bit of conversation started. How often do we say bet online?
Almost never.
Never.
Almost
But we are now.
Yeah.
So that's why they do it.
Okay. Last thing, and it's real simple. This means a little, a lot, nothing at all.
Very little.
Okay.
Very little. Now, I'll give you my read on Saban in the press box. He came in from Lubbock to the Alabama game. He does not always come from game day straight to Bryant-Denny. He was coming to watch both of the teams that's the common denominator.
Big game, yeah.
When he came through, Charlie, he wasn't chit-chatting. He was going to get in position to watch the game.
Yeah.
Just I'm just telling
Okay.
you,
No,
it was not this, hey, how you doing? Hey, no, it was.
Is he ever like that?
I've seen him a little bit.
Maybe since he retired. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I've seen him.
I mean, he ain't usually chatty, is what I'm saying.
I'm just telling you what I saw. It was more, get me to my spot. I got people around. Do not let people come up to me and chit chat. It was coached. It was so deliberate. I'm just
Got it.
saying.
Okay.
But
We're watching everything.
do I think he's going to be a coach? Hell no.
Well,
Do I
no.
think they talked to him? Hell yeah.
Then they should.
They're not doing their job if they haven't. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, the Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060, full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional services, which you get when you call our friends at Legacy Title. Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Natalie and Bradford Smith, buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds at Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Iverstine, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross-Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross-Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe iDrive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Get the 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. Uh-oh, they let the big dog out.
Boom! Out of nowhere!
It's time for the big dog, Randy McKay, with his best picks.
Big Dog, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Travel back from Colorado now, and I'm in Nevada. Going to head back down to Arizona today, so a little stop here in Vegas before I head down.
Okay. In Las Vegas. What comps you picking up there? What bonuses you hitting up? Where you staying? Who's providing a pillow for you? Then you stay at Vegas right now.
Yeah, just at my normal place here, across from the circuit here in the Golden Gate Suites. So enjoying that a little bit, and we're just over there for a little breakfast and head back to do the show here.
Those Golden Gate Suites, huh? That's pretty nice, huh?
Yeah, they're nice in the back here, nice and quiet. And sometimes it's hard to find quiet when you're on Fremont.
No kidding.
True story.
No kidding. What about 3 o'clock? Should we be aware about diving in and also the higher than usual activity before the trade deadline? And in Major League Baseball, the bookmakers hate it because the better teams, the public bets the better teams. I mean, they're betting the Dodgers. They're betting against the White Sox every time, or the Rockies. They're betting against them every time. And, well, the Rockies just got worse. The few players that the White Sox had, they got rid of. And now you got the Dodgers and the better teams picked them up. 3 o'clock with the favorites in the overs. I mean, it was a massacre for the house. And so a lot of times we like to be on the side of the house. Is that guard against maybe going with some of these weaker teams as they've just gotten weaker?
I just think it was a short sample size there where where all the matchups just kind of worked out there. If you're betting favorite and over, I think it was just a short place here because we know NFL's a week-to-week situation here. It's a new quiz, like I call it, a new quiz every week. You just got to try to make out the new test every week because each matchup is different. So, there might be underdogs that bark this week that didn't bark last week.
Gotcha. All right, I'm looking at your picks this week, and I'm guessing, let's see, of the 32 teams, who would you bet on the lucky meter? Who is the luckiest team so far in the NFL?
Well, of course, number one would probably have to be the Bears with all their lucky late comebacks and screw-ups by the other team. That would definitely have to be number one. As far as number two, that would be a little tougher one to find. I suppose you could get up a few teams here. I don't think New England's been that lucky. I think they've kind of deserved the wins they've gotten.
Are we going to call Denver? Denver? Are we going to put Denver in the lucky column or the
Oh, they got to be in the top five.
Yeah.
Good, Charlie.
Very good. Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, Denver with their debacles by the other team and them lucking out at the end. Of course, they did get one kind of taken away from them against the Colts back in the day. The Colts maybe even up there too. So
Charlie gets a prize. Tell them what they won, Johnny. He gets a new Golden Gate Suite next time Randy's in town.
Couple, look koozie. Yeah.
Speaking of which, the Vikings are at home again. They opened up with the lead, and then Baltimore kind of took over in that one. Still had a late chance maybe to cover. Didn't happen, but they're at home -3 against those Bears.
Yeah, two games here where we have a matchup that we already seen so far this year, and the Vikings won this game earlier on a nice 27-24 fourth quarter comeback against the Bears. You know, Minnesota, of course, I'm going to come back on them after a messy game where they had a lot of penalties and a lot of bad turnovers and a lot of, they need to clean up these mistakes. I don't think this Bears defense is going to cause them too much problem, of course, as the Ravens did on offense. So I see them having a fairly healthy offensive game here. And, of course, their defense has caused Caleb Williams to have trouble in the past, especially in this dome atmosphere. So I'm going against a weaker defense here, which is the Chicago unit. So going to come back with the Minnesota Vikings -3 in a big divisional matchup here with wild card expectation probably out of both teams, if not slim shot for the division.
All right, the Panthers, after getting, they go to Lambeau and get a win, and then they get beat by double digits at home against the New Orleans Saints. Tyler Shuck looked good. Is this a easier quarterback for the Panthers defense to face? They go to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Carolina destroyed, was it 30-0 earlier this year?
Yep.
In Charlotte? Carolina's +3.5 at Atlanta.
Yeah, that's another matchup here where we got two teams that faced each other, and of course they got that surprising upset, 30-0, blanketed them. We got 5-5 Carolina versus 3-6 Atlanta. I'm mostly going against the schedule spot. I like to go against some scheduling spots. Atlanta, this underachieving Atlanta Falcon team, coming off an overtime loss in Berlin and then having to come back to America and play their, one of their division rivals at home isn't a good, why they didn't take the bye in this spot like they're offered makes no sense to me. And, I think we're 2-0 so far in this same situation. So I see this getting the points here with Carolina, even though it might be a little bit of short of points from, most people's models probably have a little higher, 4.5 or so. But this Carolina has a much improved defense, which I definitely like. And I don't think they're going to lay a clunker here in Atlanta like they did last week.
All right, man. We got two really, really strong games. These are two of the three that were the culprits that destroyed their teams in the 3 o'clock games on Sunday. Seahawks and the Rams is the first of two. This will be the first of a home-and-home series here. Rams at home in Los Angeles, 2.5 3-point favorites over Seattle, who's destroying people right now.
Yeah, you got both teams kind of destroying people as well. You got 7-2 versus 7-2 game of the week here. The Rams have dominated Seattle lately in this matchup, and I think I have the more healthy injury report here with the Rams, so I'm going to lay the number. Adams is questionable, but it sounds like he will play there. And let's go back to Sam Darnold in his last few games against this Rams team, especially last year. He lost to the Rams during the regular season. There was a controversial face mask at the end of the game that might have gave the Vikings a chance, but he didn't play well in that game. And then, of course, we go to the playoff game where he just got torched by this Rams defense, and, the Vikings got dominated in that situation. So he might have a little, like he always said before, he has a little ghost in his head. Maybe he has a little ghost in his head with this Rams team. So this might be a tough matchup for him, and I see the Rams getting the victory here. And then we'll have to wait and see when they go to Seattle to play. That'll be a different matchup, and we'll see where the two teams are in that matchup. But I like the Rams laying the short price here.
What's your thoughts of Tyler Shuck's performance against Carolina?
Yeah, very impressive. You know, he actually played pretty well against the Rams a week before, I thought, you know, even though they're outmatched against that Rams team. So, you know, he showed some maturity, made some, you know, decent throws, you know, looks like he's got, you know, pretty good repertoire there with Olave. So maybe that's a combination to, you know, that Saints team can work on. And of course, it was real good for your most losses or most losses bets here on the Titans and then the Jets winning too. So the Titans are minus 150 to have the most losses.
Randy, I'm curious. When a team like the Giants loses a young quarterback who's only got a handful of starts in Jackson Dart, and they start a guy who's got a ton of starts in the league but has been all over the place in Jameis Winston, what does that do to what you think about a game? I always like to think about how many points is a certain guy worth, a quarterback, from Jackson Dart today to Jameis Winston, who's going to start Sunday.
Yeah, and this line's really been ping-ponging around from 7.5 now down to 7 with the Jameis news. So that's very interesting. You know, the Giants have played hard, even though they've lost some tough games this year. They've been, you know, real impressive, and of course, you know, this week they're getting the new coach bump that, you know, sometimes we see in the markets, and that's what they're getting. You know, as far as, you know, I think this team will play hard throughout the whole season here. You know, you'll see some good efforts, but that with their schedule, I don't know if I see any wins really on it. You know, even the Green Bay team. You know, I told people that I was not real high on this team all year, and I'm glad I'm done with them in Survivor. And they might burn some people again this week. So this could be a very more closer game than what the market shows right now.
Randy, Jackson Dart was the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. The receiver from Tampa Bay, Tyler Warren from the Colts, are the second and third choice. But now he gets knocked out. They don't win. He's got 2 wins. He's going to miss, you know, another start. They might sit him a little bit lower. What would you do with people with Jackson Dart Rookie of the Year tickets right now?
Well, there's no way to really recoup that, or I don't think there's any way.
What do you think of his
that
chances now?
Yeah, I think I would think they're pretty much gone. But then you gotta look at the voters. Do the voters, you know, and will the organization even put them in there? You know, at the end of the season when they have such a bad record, we'll have to wait and see on that, because I think that's one of the reasons maybe Dayball got fired, because he was putting too much at risk with all those run plays and stuff at the end of the game. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see whether the organization. But I wouldn't try to chase any losses on that.
One more quick one, Randy, before we're up against a break. But I've got Rams to win the division bets. But if I were to look to hedge, would you take Seattle plus 35, or would you take a direct order? Seattle first, Rams second, 49ers third, and Arizona fourth. I'm tempted to hedge a little bit with that.
Yeah, that's probably a little better odds at that one. I would probably go that way as far as taking the.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear, my man.
I feel very good about Arizona finishing last. I can tell you that.
What I'm saying. I mean, you know, so how's San Francisco with all their injuries going to finish?
Yeah.
Catch one of these two.
Yeah.
You know, so plus 250 as opposed to plus 35. Randy, follow Randy on Twitter at RR39. Again, always a pleasure, brother. We'll talk to you and maybe get some updates in some of the picks you have on Sunday. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, awesome, guys. Thank you, and good luck, everybody else.
All right, don't forget our friends at Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime. 343-1111. They're doing some secession work for me right now. Did some work when I got into an accident before. Charlie's had different. We even had to get Charlie to go over and be a witness signee, you know, get his autograph over at Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown. Always a pleasure to deal with as a team, whether it's Susan, whether it's David, whether it's Chris, all of Miss Patty, who's been there forever, you know, and of course Dana. So always pleasant to deal with his long-standing staff, and of course former District Attorney O.C. Brown, his dad, started this generations ago, and we're just continuing that great service for Baton Rouge. Take advantage of that initial consultation at 343-1111. Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Live at Iverstine, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow's Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soups, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell Omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffees and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny.
One other thing that came out of the teleconference this morning with Frank Wilson, the SEC teleconference, is that Michael Van Buren is willing to burn his red shirt. If he plays in 2 of the last 3 games, he's going to use up his red shirt. And I only bring it up because so many things have changed since he signed with LSU. They're going to change coaches. He has no idea what his role might be next year. And people with starting quarterback experience in the SEC are pretty valuable these days. If he just told LSU to go fly a kite and said, you know what, I'm burning it.
If I'm Frank, I wouldn't burn his red shirt.
Well,
I'm sorry.
They're gonna.
I disagree with that.
They're good.
No.
I think it's an incredibly unselfish move on his part to do that, because another year as a starting quarterback.
That's your kid,
somewhere.
Charlie. Come on.
No,
I mean, does he have a chance to play?
I'm giving him credit.
Does he have a chance to play?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about in the future.
Oh yeah,
don't
absolutely.
burn him. Don't burn him.
Absolutely.
Don't burn a year.
We'll revisit the topic when we come back here at Iverstine. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in Louisiana who are 21 or older. Licensed through Horseshoe Bossier City and Caesars New Orleans. Match bet of $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings, $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And the wind go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Let Sammy's Grill do the cooking for your holiday feast. Fried or rotisserie turkeys with all the traditional sides. Pepper jack, crawfish, cornbread dressing, green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, boudin rice dressing, mac and cheese, and more. And for dessert, white chocolate bread pudding or pecan pie. Order a la carte or bundle up with our turkey feast that feeds 8 to 10 people. Call or stop by either the Highland Road or Prairieville locations to place your order today. Orders must be made 48 hours prior to pickup. Let Sammy's Grill do all the cooking for you this holiday season.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
This is Buzzy Hydell for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Your Porsche, Audi, or Land Rover isn't ordinary. Your mechanic shouldn't be either. At Vex European, our skilled technicians provide precise repairs, routine maintenance, and transparent guidance tailored specifically to your European or exotic vehicle. Vex European, where precision meets performance. VexEuropean.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
Enjoying the finer things in life is his forte. Let's bring in Scott Rabelais from The Advocate.
And return here at Iverstine Butcher here on Perkins, just off of Essen. Scott,
Well, hold on. Before we do that, we remind everybody that we do a game day sausage over here every week at Iverstein Butcher. And this week, Charlie, in tribute, playing the Hogs, it's a Couchon de lait sausage. Pork sausage with roasted apples with a hard apple cider. It's available Thursday through Saturday, and a little sage as well, Thursday through Saturday. So tomorrow through Saturday here at Iverstein Butcher. Of course, you can order your holiday stuff at iversteinbutcher.com, iversteinbutcher.com. Orders need to be placed anywhere but now until Friday the 21st, and you set up your pickup times Saturday the 22nd through Wednesday the 26th, anywhere from 10 a.m. to 5:45 in the evening.
Scott Rabelais can have some of that before he hauls the boot in on Saturday. That's his job, to place the boot.
Do you want to bring him in on this conversation about burning the red shirt off?
Yeah, we can start there. You won the teleconference?
I want to start by saying, okay, hold on. I want to start by saying we have a feature on Iverstein Butcher in our paper today in the living section.
We
on our website.
We led the show with it.
Oh, very good.
So
very
we
good.
saw it. It was very nice, very nice piece that was done on Iverstein.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, so it was kind of a little short story at the end of the hour, but we wanted to expound on it. Michael Van Buren, according to Frank Wilson, has told them that he intends to play. If he plays in 2 of the last 3 games of this season, he will burn his red shirt. Essentially, that is the 2028 season that he would be they'd be holding that for. I think it's incredibly unselfish. I think that I could certainly make a case that, look, the 2028 season, whatever that may hold for Michael Van Buren, wherever that may hold it, will be a lot more valuable than playing in a reserve role for the end of the season for LSU. So I think it's an unselfish thing, but I would have understood if he'd have said, hey, look, man, I came here under a different coach, and you know what? I got to look out for me. Rab, what do you think?
I think these are always very individual decisions, and these kids work really hard, and they train, they sacrifice, and a lot of them are making NIL money now, like Garrett Nussmeier is. But it is up to him. I mean, obviously, we remember Garrett Nussmeier choosing not to play in the Texas Bowl in 2021 because he wanted to preserve that extra year that he's using right now, right?
Yeah.
And Michael Van Buren wants to play. That's the competitor, and he wants to play. I would completely understand if he didn't, because obviously we have no idea if he's going to be on the roster next year, if the new coaching staff will like him or not. He's the starting quarterback. He transfers somewhere else. But obviously he wants to compete and show that he can play. And obviously, certainly, I thought he might try to find the middle path. Try to play against Arkansas, maybe even start. I kind of get the impression, frankly.
I think it's a bad move. He's not even starting. One of the 2 games would be Western Kentucky. I mean, he has some ability. He has done some good things. I mean, he can move a little bit, and he's got a decent arm. He has the physical tools to be a quarterback, if not in the SEC Power 4. And I think he could be. I think he's got more ability. I mean, he might give LSU more of a chance than Nussmeier right now. I mean, a lot of people believe that right now, especially with the offensive line issues, because he certainly can escape more. But to give up a year of eligibility, that was my kid. No freaking way.
Scott, you think Frank is leaning towards starting him on Saturday? Is that the impression you got this morning?
No, I got the impression that he's leaning towards starting Nussmeier.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought.
But he said again that both quarterbacks will play. He said it on Monday. He said that this morning. So that they're expecting both quarterbacks to play. So a significant role, certainly a more significant role than he's played in the past for Van Buren. I'd lean to starting him because I think you need, against a defense as bad as Arkansas, you need to put as much pressure as you can on him, and as weak as LSU's offense has been. You got to plan on scoring 30 more points this game than you've done against any Power 4 opponent to win this game. And if that's important, then I think he should start and play a significant role. But we'll see. I will say this. We asked several players we didn't have Jared Nussmeier interviews yesterday about how has he been in practice and how what has his attitude been like, and they all said a couple of them said he's been a pro. He said Garrett's a pro. He handles his business. He's still leading. He's still our captain, and or one of their captains, and has had a very good attitude in practice. So it's certainly a very interesting dynamic. Obviously, it's not really the biggest story out there, concerning LSU, but it's still very interesting to see how he approaches it and how Michael Van Buren approaches it. And you can make a case for everything. You can make a case for each of these guys wanting to go full forward or shut down. I understand what Jimmy's saying, and if it was my son, I might advise him the same way as Jimmy's saying, but I respect Van Buren's decision to want to play as a competitor.
It's completely different from the SEC championship game in 2001. We're always going to remember that was Tennessee. That was a conference championship game. He did a hell of a job on Stallworth. I mean, that was you got a conference championship. I mean, okay, the Texas Bowl where Nussmeier sat out. Who are we playing? Okay.
Kansas State,
Okay, you think? What are we trying to do? Go 7-5 instead of 6-6, maybe this year?
I would understand. Speaking of scoring all those points, Scott, Richard Dixon came up with a sobering stat on the podcast last night. By the way, Handicast Film Study, you can go see it on YouTube. LSU scored 23 touchdowns this season, the team. 23
I know.
Wait, 8 of them against Southeastern.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
15 outside of
yes, 15 touchdowns outside of the Southeastern game. That, when you talk about a grand total.
That's sobering.
Yeah.
Damian Ramos, one of the players we talked to yesterday, he's got almost all the records now for most field goals, most points scored by a kicker and stuff like that. The one he doesn't have, he's 8 shy of Colt David for the most extra points in his career. Is he gonna have an opportunity to make 9 more extra points? I'm not exactly sure.
They better be playing.
I'm not exactly sure.
I think Burrow and the 19 team, they scored 15 touchdowns in the first half against Oklahoma.
Well, he had 60 touchdown passes. Okay,
I'm well aware.
You can start there.
No.
Scott, let's
Jimmy
get.
was being a little facetious there, but it was
Charlie's new at this. Thank you, Scott.
Right. Well, some of these stats have been so dramatic that you never know. Scott, what your thought? You wrote a column on this earlier this week about everything that's happened since Brian Kelly was fired. I'm almost using my air quotes now, fired, because the idea that Brian Kelly wasn't fired is as ludicrous as it sounds saying it out loud. But with a few days to digest the latest, or day to digest the latest on this, how much damage do you think has been done to the LSU brand?
Significant. I mean, someone sent me a column. My son's father-in-law last night sent me a column. Blake Toppelmeyer, a friend of mine who's a columnist for USA Today, wrote saying LSU is a bunch of buffoons, and Louisiana people are a bunch of buffoons. So, and Blake's not somebody who just runs around blasting people every day. He's someone who's a little more tempered. But yeah, it's tremendous. And at a time when in the last couple of years, LSU's brand has been tremendously successful with Jaden Daniels and Angel Reese and Olivia Dunn and
nobody's college brand is better. Nobody's college brand is better. I mean, we're talking about brand. We're not talking about on field Ohio State right now, whatever. Nobody's brand, not close.
And so this is it's tremendously bad, and obviously the biggest thing, of course, is how does it impact the coaching search. I still think there is time for LSU to thread the needle and find a good coach and get someone will want this job. Someone will definitely want this job, and I think a quality coach will want this job. But it really hurts. And I'm from here. I cover LSU. I cannot be a fan. I don't own a stitch of LSU clothing. I don't have an LSU sticker on my car. I'm not a fan. But I did go to LSU, and I am from Baton Rouge. And I've lived my whole life in this state, and pains me when people think of us this way. And it's like, can't we ever just get our act together and just act in a normal way? Even by Louisiana standards, normal. And it seems like it's just. It's just every time you turn around, it's like, okay, what's going to happen next? Are we going to find out that Virg Osbury is a robot or something like that? Or the aliens are actually controlling Jeff Landry's movements? I don't know. I just every time we turn around, it's something else, and it's just it's there always, in my opinion, people nationally are always looking for a reason to make fun of Louisiana anyway. They love to come down here and have fun at Mardi Gras or a Super Bowl or something like that, but the rest of the time they enjoy laughing at us and how backwards we are, and just giving them ammunition is just bad for everybody.
LSU has not punched back on the public relations side of this lawsuit of Kelly yet. When the president bumbled the athletic director's, whatever you want to call it, coup, they went back and corrected that pretty quick, okay? So now you just got this story out there that Brian Kelly is being fired for cause, and nobody knows what the cause is, that they're looking to not pay the buyout, and all you're hearing is from the other side of this. It doesn't appear that LSU has a legal leg to stand on from what we know. What we don't know is what we don't know. They wouldn't have put this out there if they didn't think they had a case, I don't think. So what is their case, Scott? What is LSU's case for firing Brian Kelly, even though they said they didn't, and for not paying him this contract? What is their case here?
The case is they don't want to pay all the money.
Yeah, no, that's you know what? I don't want to pay all my bills either, but otherwise they turn the lights out. So I don't get what their case is. I really don't. And if there's I keep hearing from the LSU. The LSU never does anything wrong crowd is, well, they've got this and they got this. Well, okay, if you do, then where is it? Because otherwise you are getting clobbered in the court of public opinion here.
Yeah, if you want to say it's because of some personal, I don't know how you guys want to go with this, but some personal behavior off the field, or if you want to say it's because of the way he handled the Greg Brooks situation, those things are baked in by this point, right? That doesn't fly, really. I mean, you knew what you had with Brian Kelly with that. People bring up all the time the kid that went up on the scissor lift at Notre Dame who died at practice in the high wind. All these things are baked in with Brian Kelly at this point. If he had beaten Texas A&M, he would still be the coach today, even if they lost this past week. If they lost to Alabama this week, right? I mean, we are in agreement of that. He would if they had upset Texas A&M, he would be the coach. So it's not that. It's all. It appears to be. It's just all tactics to try to. They made the offer of $25 million, made the offer of $30 million. Kelly supposedly countered back to 43. There's a number there. There's a magic number where they're going to settle. I was talking to our Wilson Alexander, who's stayed on top of this as well as anybody. He doesn't think it's going to go to court. Neither side wants discovery and things like that, right? To be dragged out to years, and Kelly wants his money. We think there's a magic number there, but as a lawyer friend of mine who I spoke to about this yesterday said, is it worth it for LSU to be dragged through the mud like this to save, say, $10 million? Let's just say to get it to $40 million, a nice round. The press likes the nice round number. To save $14 million, is it really worth all that? LSU apparently thinks it is, but for the rest of us on the outside looking in, it seems like it's a bad math.
Okay, so here's kind of my spiel on the negotiations. Like, why would Brian Kelly negotiate? Because there is a number that you get to that it's worth more to have it in your hand than to have it paid out between now and 2031. Whatever that number is that he thinks he can make on the interest. Okay, I mean, this is a math problem for his his financial advisors at that point. So that's why maybe he's willing to negotiate, and that's before you decide if he wants to work again. If he does want to work again, and I don't think that he does, and I think that they put that out there just to satisfy the clause in the contract that, well, he's looking for a job before you guys trashed his reputation. Now he's going to be sentenced to golf for the rest of his life. What a shame. There's a number there that, okay, you get to 40 million, 42 million, 44, whatever it is, that there will be more interest accumulated. He can make more money investing that in whatever he wants to invest in that'll get him north of the $54 million before 2031. So that's why the negotiation thing is. The morals clause, I think, is ridiculous, okay? And it's for this reason. Yes, there's a morals clause in his contract, but unless they found out that he was running a casino out of his office the night of the Texas A&M game, and it has to be that night. If he was running a casino out of his office 2 weeks before that, they should have fired him 2 weeks before that. So unless Scott Woodward walked into the football building and, look, Brian Kelly's running a blackjack game here in the lobby, and found out that night and fired him the next morning, yeah, I mean, where is your morals clause, okay? They fired him because he lost that game in an embarrassing fashion on top of the games that he had lost before. They didn't fire him over any damn morals clause. And I'm not a lawyer, so I'm sure there's 50 lawyers out there screaming at their radio going, Hannegriff doesn't know what he's talking about. And when it comes to the law, they're probably right, okay? But this
we
looks,
don't know the intricacies of the
this
law.
looks absolutely crazy to me. Again, you got to look at how does everybody else do this, okay? Penn State fired James Franklin for roughly the same amount of money owed, and they're not going through this dog and pony show. And Texas A&M fired Jimbo Fisher for way more money than this, and they didn't go through this dog and pony show. It's like when I talk about how the Saints handle the salary cap, and I've had people tell me, Mickey Loomis really knows what he's doing. He's doing it a different way than everybody else in the NFL. Yes, and he's in last place. Okay, so maybe the way everybody else is doing it is really the actual way to do it rather than the way they are handling the salary cap. And I feel that way about LSU's handling this contract. Nobody else goes 15 rounds over some clause in the contract unless it's Bobby Petrino on the motorcycle. Well, we had pretty good evidence. The guy showed up in a neck brace, beat all the hell, okay? Something went wrong. And then they found out what happened. Well, unless you got Brian Kelly on a motorcycle, or like I said, with a blackjack deck, a blackjack table in his office, then man, I don't see it, and I certainly don't see where it's helping anything here. That's my 2 cents on the deal.
Right, and to try to go back and the whole thing is just so absurd. You go back and say Scott Woodward didn't have the authority to fire him because he's making more money.
Yeah.
$250,000. No one said that when he fired Ed Orgeron, did they?
No.
I mean, all Kelly's secretary had to do is say, "Look at the guy who was just here before my client. He got fired."
He fired a basketball. He fired a basketball coach too. That made news.
Coach. I mean, you can do all that stuff. I think there's okay. I try. It's just in my nature to try to look past all the kerfuffle and try to figure out what is the end game here. I think there's a number that LSU and Brian Kelly can settle at. I think they're going to remove the what do you call the contingency if he to where they owe him less.
The offset clause. Yeah.
The offset clause. I tend to agree with you, Charlie, that he's not looking to coach again. I think he may once in a while make a call to Notre Dame. Can I have my job back? No. Okay. No. Well, thanks. Call Ohio State. Can I replace Ryan Day? No, you can't. Okay. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm trying. They won't hire me, and so I think they'll remove that and just pay him that money, and because LSU went. I'm thinking, and you guys tell me if you agree with me or not. LSU went into this alleged firing. You have to laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
With the idea that they may have to pay the full $54 million, right? I mean, you had to go in there with your eyes wide open, not think we hope to whittle him down to half or something like that, or we hope to do this or that, get to this figure. You had to go into thinking that you could have to pay him the whole amount. So, and he was open. He said in the email early on he was open to negotiation. Now, obviously,
we talked about why. We talked about why that is, and I think that this has largely come from hey, we don't think we should have to pay him because he did a bad job. Well, that's a wonderful moral thought, okay, that you should be paid based on what you accomplish. It's not how college football contracts work. I wish it was, okay? I think the world would be a lot fairer place, but that's not how it works. And you're not gonna change the rules here on an outgoing contract. Maybe on an incoming contract, but not on an outgoing contract.
Maybe.
Scott, appreciate it. We got to run. We will talk to you next week when the Tigers play Western Kentucky. Thanks a lot.
All right, guys.
All right, appreciate it. We're brought to you by the Thibodeau store and the Pierre Part store, now the LaRose store and the Lockport store. Black Friday deals are on the website right now at thethibodeaustore.com. You can get to all of the properties from that one website. Black Friday deals including right now outdoor cameras, your solar-powered outdoor cameras, your security cameras, your keyless entry door locks are on special right now on the website. All of these deals along with a ton of other ones. Outdoor heaters, all the way from the small ones out to the very large ones, are available at thethibodeaustore.com. All of your outdoor cooking equipment is available. Ton of deals to get for you at the Thibodeau store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, Highway 70 in Pierre Part, and online, thethibodeaustore.com. Live at Iverstine, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Pierre Part store, and now the Thibodeau store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. From east, north to south, but we're heading west. It's Wes Reynolds from VSiN.
Hey, Wes. First of all, how you doing, sir? Another win for the fighting Abbas, Fernando. I mean, and how about I swear I looked at that thing. I could not tell a million times, and finally somebody posted on Twitter, and it's so accurate. The guy just didn't his foot that was about to touch the line first. He just didn't levitate it. He was going to hit first, but the DB from Penn State pushed him and forced it up and kept it from hitting. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's trying to push him out of bounds, but that kept it from there and then his toe. I mean, it's the catch of the year, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. My heart stopped beating about like 10 times in that sequence as I was watching that. But amazing catch by Cooper and amazing balance. And you know what? Quite frankly, a little bit of luck there for Indiana. And sometimes you need that. And you know, I was saying a couple weeks ago, at some point they're going to get a scare. And it was last week in Happy Valley. And the fact that drive at the end, Mendoza gets sacked, by the way, on first down. So it's 2nd and 17, and you have no timeouts. It's like, oh man, all hope is lost here. You're just, you got to find a way, and maybe you'll get bailed out on a PI or something. But Mendoza, despite the fact that the numbers were great, he was great late, and he had the Heisman moment. I'm not sure if they're going to give him the trophy like Gus Johnson said, but that certainly was the moment. That was the best moment, I think, of any of the candidates, even though he doesn't have the best numbers of the quarterbacks that he's likely to be competing against for that award in New York. He was great when he needed to be. And Indiana escaped first win in Happy Valley, first time in program history, back-to-back double-digit winning seasons. And, they're just ripping off milestones every single week.
Heisman Trophy moment as far as winning a game. But, I mean, Wes, you're a golf handicapper. And you're on 18 and you got to, or maybe on 17, you just got to go bogey or par bogey. I mean, you don't have to hit birdies, to get to the playoff. I don't see how, and the other thing is against a team that's still looking for a Power 4 win in mid-November. The Ohio State, the Big Ten championship game, if form holds, it's an award, it's a team award also. How is the losing quarterback going to win the Heisman Trophy coming out of that game?
And I think that's how it's going to set up. And I do think if these teams win, and just handle their business, I think it's going to be 1 versus 2 again. Indianapolis, Ohio State, and Indiana is, as good of a season as A&M is having, and what Alabama is certainly doing. I think you're probably going to have 1 versus 2. And all the hype around that game being 1 versus 2 with 2 undefeated teams in the Big Ten, and it would work the same way if it was in the SEC with 2 undefeated teams 1-2. That just overwhelms everything and every other big game. So I think it probably is going to come down to that game in Indianapolis.
It might be 1-3. It could be. I mean, A&M goes to Texas and beats them by 3 touchdowns. I mean, it could be 1.
Especially if Texas beats Georgia this weekend.
Oh well, then I would even add it, sure. But even not. I mean, if they could do it's close. And listen, that was a big conversation last night. It is close between these two, and it should be. A&M's done, but A&M has missed, just like and this is part of the super conferences where the size of these conferences now. SMU gets to the conference championship game without playing Clemson, without playing Miami, without playing Notre Dame. I mean, come on, So A&M, the way it's fallen this year, they hadn't played Georgia, they hadn't played Ole Miss, they hadn't played help me out, Alabama.
Yeah.
So it's just the way it falls. We were
They've
talking.
played 4 teams, by the way, that have had their coaches fired.
Oh,
and that's just in conference play.
I think
Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, and the other one is escaping me, but I think that they played 4 teams.
Yeah, but they made us fire him, Wes.
He's still being paid at his contract, so
you sure about that?
Right.
Officially, yes,
Right.
I am. Payments are being made. Yes.
Okay.
So they, but we were talking yesterday about the Colts and Daniel Jones, and that's another one that we had some action on. The Coach of the Year between Vrabel and Steichen. A bit of a two-horse, at least they're in the front right now. This league changes, it pivots very quickly. And certainly Vrabel has the easiest schedule the rest of the way. And that's just data based on this, the win-loss record this year. But going back to training camp, going back to preseason, and remember those preseason games where, like, okay, they're going to rotate, but they're going to play both in this game. And then it was the same thing in preseason game 2. They just, this different rotation, Richardson would start but do you remember who the favorite was or who you thought was going to win before that first preseason game in training camp between Jones and Richardson?
I believe it was Richardson. Yeah, I believe it was Richardson. It kind of went a little bit back and forth, but you knew when they signed Daniel Jones because they said, he's here to compete for the job. And I think that was what the intention was. And then Jones, I think, was a better fit for what they wanted to do offensively. And, now they basically committed to him with all the trades that they made, especially with the Sauce Gardner trade. You trade away a lot of your draft capital, and Chris Ballard loves that draft capital. He says that every year. But you're committing to Daniel Jones, and that's a double-edged sword because he's the one that's going to make plays for you, and I think he's better for this team clearly than Richardson. But we've seen over the last couple of weeks, the turnover monster has started to appear for Daniel Jones. I believe he has, like 6 in the last 2 games. And part of that is the offensive line protection wasn't very good. It was good over in Berlin. But thankfully they have number 28, Jonathan Taylor, who is every bit the MVP candidate because he compensated for the poor line play in the pass protection and the poor quarterback play. So if Shane Steichen's going to win that Coach of the Year, keep feeding number 28. They have hats on sale in Indianapolis that say run the damn ball. And I think that's what they're going to keep doing with Jonathan Taylor. That's certainly what they should until this offensive line can figure out this pass protection.
Back when Carson Wentz was the quarterback in the game against Tennessee, when I was like, wait, I told a friend, I'd say, have you ever seen a sign like this in the stands? Run the damn ball. I mean,
with Sandra Bullock holding it, right?
They've been having those signs for years with the Colts.
We should have had that here a few weeks ago. That would have really helped.
All right, Wes. Let's get to your picks. Let's start your best pick in the NFL. Why?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I'm going to fade the Bears again. It got there on the late number. Giants honestly should have won the game. But then Jackson Dart gets hurt, and the Bears make that comeback. But the turnover thing continues for the Bears. They are now plus 16 in turnover margin over the last 6 weeks. That's unsustainable. They were plus 1 last week against the Giants because Russ turned one over late. But Minnesota -3 or on the money line for me. And I know the Vikings, didn't really impress last week against Baltimore. Some people thought they might have been a live dog. But that's just what you're going to get with a rookie quarterback like McCarthy. He's going to have peaks and valleys. The peak, of course, was 2 weeks ago in Detroit, and the valley was last week against Baltimore. But I do like Minnesota laying here, and then a couple other ones that I bet. A couple ugly underdogs, actually. One short and one big. Jacksonville Jaguars +3 against the Chargers. Jaguars had the most painful loss on the NFL slate last week, blowing that game against Houston. And then not only blowing the game, but blowing the coverage. You got that big man touchdown on the final play of the game. But are we really sure that the Chargers are that good? I think that their record, they're a little bit inflated at 7-3. They still got some offensive line issues, even though they beat Pittsburgh comfortably. Justin Herbert still got sacked 5 times, and I'll buy on the bottom with the Jags, and I'm going to really buy on the bottom with this underdog. Cleveland Browns +8, maybe even some 8.5 out there against the Baltimore Ravens. They lost to the Jets, who seemingly traded half of their team at the trade deadline, certainly a good part of their defense. And the Jets still come and they win against the Cleveland Browns. So surely I'm gonna bet against them, right? No, we're gonna buy at the bottom against the Baltimore team that I said they were a buy team because now they're getting healthy and the schedule's getting easier. But I just think 8 is a little rich, and Cleveland has been good in these spots. Remember, they beat Green Bay earlier this year in that spot. So hold your nose, Cleveland Browns +8 against Baltimore.
All right. What about college picks this week?
Yeah, one big favorite, and we were talking about the college football playoff. Lay it with Notre Dame against Pitt. I think Notre Dame has been an absolute juggernaut. Like, they're not rated in the top 5 of the CFP, and they shouldn't be already with the 2 losses. But to me, I would power rate them number 5 in the country right now. And they've got the defense has improved from what it was earlier this year. It was a disaster under Chris Ash, but they've improved slowly but surely. Ever since that Arkansas game, I think that was kind of the turnaround of their season. So it's on the move, but I'm going to lay it with the Irish at Pittsburgh this week. And then one more, we'll give an SEC play. Not getting the best number now, but the Oklahoma Sooners going down to Bryant-Denny against Alabama. And I didn't get there +10.5 with LSU last week, but Alabama looked a little vulnerable at times. LSU just couldn't take advantage of it offensively, but LSU was getting stop after stop against that team, and I think Oklahoma can do the same. That's one of the best defenses in the country. So I'll take the Sooners +6. You may get a 7 reappearing on the weekend, though, as more of the public comes in on Alabama. But tough game for the Tide here. I think Oklahoma's getting a little overlooked.
Busy night in college basketball last night. Your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, Illinois, certainly a nice, impressive win over Texas Tech. Texas Tech, I think, got within the number at the end. But Illinois, even without one of the Ivicic twins, Big Z played, but Big T was out for Illinois. But I thought the Illini were really impressive. At the Big Ten, you could kind of see at the top a little bit that it's Purdue, it's Michigan, even though Michigan nail-biter over Wake Forest and then was impressed with Texas Tech. And then I got to say, you know, I grew up in the 80s just like you guys did when Louisville was one of the best programs in college basketball. They're back to being one of the best programs in college basketball.
Oh, that place was on fire last night. I mean, it was on fire. One of my favorite Louisville, Kentucky games was actually at Thompson Bowling. That I think it was a regional final game or Sweet 16 game where Kentucky had the lead for most of the game and Louisville stormed back to beat them in the tournament game. But, yeah, the ACC, that was a big win for them. And 2 just misses last night. Florida State at Florida and Wake Forest, who had the lead down the stretch at Michigan. Couple of near misses. I think the ACC might be improved from what it was last year. Follow us on Twitter, X at Wes Reynolds 1. Good luck, Wes. We'll talk to you Wednesday. Thank you, buddy.
You bet, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right. How's the tri-tip po' boy and the
It's
focaccia, the rosemary
absolutely-
focaccia from St. Bruno?
Man, that is delicious.
With the caramelized
Yes.
onions and the kind of the house-made aioli.
Jalapeno
mayo.
mayo.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Jalapeno mayo.
But not overpowering spicy.
No.
Just to give it a little pop. So seasoned fries with it.
Got a little kick to it now.
Charlie! Yes, indeed. So, hey, don't forget, go to iversteinebutcher.com. iversteinebutcher.com. You can place your order until the Saturday before Thanksgiving. Orders till Saturday before, and then you could pick up. Orders till Friday before, and then pickup is Saturday until Wednesday. You can put your times anywhere from 9:45, 10 a.m. in the morning to 5:45 in the evening, Saturday to Wednesday. So turkeys, turkey breasts, hams, pork loins, pork crown roast, the whole roasting pig. So Thanksgiving pork shoulders. So prime standing rib roast. boneless prime rib. So you name it, we've got anything you need. Thanksgiving prime brisket that's trimmed, choice brisket, grass-fed brisket. So your holiday needs a rack of lamb, Charlie. We got it all for you here at Iverstine Butcher, Perkins Road, just off of Essen.
Live at Iverstine, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny.
We return here at Iverstine Butcher on Perkins Road, just off of Essen. Come by and see us and check out the Advocate today. Wonderful story.
It's a great article,
yeah.
and it's when they do pieces on them, it's always going to be just really, really complimentary because the thing, if you knowing Galen in his operation for as long as I have, I mean, they don't skip any steps. I mean, they take a lot of pride in where the meats are sourced from. I mean, he doesn't have the farm anymore, Charlie, but he was getting them in the conditions that he wanted. There's certain conditions that will give you more quality, meats than others, and that's what he does. He finds, his chickens and the eggs from one source locally. A lot in Louisiana, in Mississippi. And the article talks about that, just how the details, attention to detail in every step of the way that they really pay attention here at Iverstine Butcher.
All right, the three big games last night in college basketball: Kentucky, Louisville, Texas Tech, Illinois, and Creighton, Gonzaga. Home team won in all three. Home team covered in all three. Although it got really close
I think
at the end.
Miss Memphis was a really good game.
And I didn't see any of
Okay,
that. And I didn't see any of Florida and Florida State, which I
that-
know was a
I know
really
that's
good
one
game.
tournament team, and
Yeah.
I think it'll be two tournament teams.
I didn't see Florida and Florida State. That was a big,
That was a very
big
good one.
spread that ended up being two.
Florida State's much. They led with 10 minutes to go. Florida pulled away, and then Florida State's got a 3 to win it at the end, down 2. So no, really, Florida State's much improved.
New coach.
Wake Forest goes to they're way improved. They had about a 7-point lead with 3 minutes to go in Michigan. Now it wasn't on campus, but it was in Detroit at the Little Caesars Dome, Charlie. But the home court was really valuable. I thought that was the biggest difference with in Champaign. Stojakovic's kid was a star last night. He did it all. He's a transfer from Stanford. They were running a lot of point forward with him. He's 6'7", but he had a key steal at the end. When they got the BS call, the flagrant one that made it a 3-point game, he blocked the perimeter 3.
Yeah.
He got to the line a lot. He was outstanding. He was really, really good. He was their star last night. It's only 3 games, but his season high with Illinois.
And JT Toppin, who was
he's carrying them.
Runner-up for preseason player of the year in the country to Braden Smith, was phenomenal.
Well, guess what?
last
This is
night.
3 games now, and it's not on this type of stage, but he is like 30 points a game, 15. Nobody's got better numbers than him right now in college
Averaging
basketball.
33 and finishing at the rim with the left hand. He is a really skilled guy.
He's great. He's
Yeah.
great. But the team is, well, we'll see. They're well coached. They'll get better.
I was watching Creighton and Gonzaga last night. So this is the last game of the night. Starts at 9 o'clock, and
on campus in Spokane.
On campus, I took Creighton into points, 11.5. We watched Creighton pretty good, and it's late, so I'm kind of fishing, and it's 55 to 45, and so I'm hanging right around the number. So I'm watching, and I doze off a little bit, and I wake up, and the first thing I see is Creighton still got 45. I'm like, oh, I just dozed off for like a minute or two. I dozed off for 20 minutes, 7 minutes worth of real time or worth of game time, and Creighton went on a 21-0 run. Gonzaga went on a 21-0 run. Turned look. I always thought Gonzaga was in control of the game, but I thought Creighton might get in the back door. 21-0, baby, 3 touchdowns in a row, and it ends up looking like a blowout there.
Creighton did a good job to get EK back. So Graham EK, their low post player. But Creighton, our friends from Omaha, they're going to miss Kalkbrenner because Kalkbrenner affected a lot of shots. It also allowed them to play the type of defense they wanted, sort of that drop coverage defense where they really get out on the shooters, but they can overextend on the perimeter and contest a lot of threes because they got an eraser under the rim. They don't have that eraser this year. They got a kid that's up from Iowa that transferred, but he's not him. And not just the what you could see in his stats from last couple of years in Kalkbrenner and block shots, but how many shots did he alter? How many shots did they just pull back out when they beat their man and they still get? So Creighton is going to have to score a lot. I just think they're going to take a little bit of a dip down this year. Charlie, I think the biggest individual story, not just with Stojakovic and the transfer at Illinois, and both of those teams are really, really good. I think they're going to be, Sweet 16 level teams. We talk about Illinois and Texas Tech, and we'll see. Florida State. We talk about the ACC just missing. Florida State's right there in Gainesville against Florida. We're seeing a little championship hangover for Florida right now. They just don't have all that. They lost against Arizona in Las Vegas, and it really could have lost last night against Florida State. Took all they could to come back and win that game. But I hate to say it, but the story's in Oxford because, Chris Beard with another year. They should have been in the Elite Eight last year. They blew that game against Michigan State. But, and got when you get a star from Kansas and A.J. Storr, but he's not the guy, Charlie. It's, outside the U.S., where are the best basketball players now?
Europe.
What country, Charlie? That's a continent.
Oh, France?
Yes.
Yeah.
Elias Carmardine from France. He was 11 of 14 from the field. Point guard, Charlie. 4 assists, 4 rebounds. I mean, he's really good. And he's old. So you get to one of these European seasoned French players. They're going to be really tough again, and we know they're well coached.
Speaking of Florida and Florida's schedule, they're going to play Duke and UConn before Christmas. So
that's fun.
That's
Why not?
Pretty good. We'll take a break, come back, finish things up here at Iverstine, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Rufino's. With locations in
Hang on.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
It's rolling.
This is Charles Hanniger. Join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Sammy's on Highland Road. We'll go to Las Vegas for Dwayne Colucci and Matt Humans, get a lot of picks, and get you ready for another college football weekend. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Thursday from Sammy's on Highland on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
This is Buzzy Hydell for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
1950, Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Get the 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny.
Lamar Jackson absent from practice today. His status up in the air for this weekend.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget it. Again, IverstineButcher.com. IverstineButcher.com. Your turkeys, your meats, whatever, pork, beef, whatever it is, sides that you have over here. You can you can order online. Man, what a great, ton of crowd that we had over here for lunch today. Don't forget we're on Perkins near Essen, Charlie. The tri-tip sandwich on the focaccia bread, the rosemary focaccia was outstanding today here at Iverstine.
Tomorrow we're at Sammy's on Highland. Stay tuned for Hunt on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at